Om Shanti everyone. Our today's story begins almost 25 years back in the year 1997. By usual standards, 1997 was a relatively silent year. Except for few incidents, nothing much dramatic happened that year. Destiny, though, had different plans for a young family whose life was going to change forever 360 degrees. Sureshji and Shrikalaji had been married then for about 4 years, and their son Roshan was just about 3 years old. In the second half of 1997, Sureshji was diagnosed with non Hodgkin lymphoma, and then for the next 3 years, the couple was thrown into a whirlwind of multiple doctors and hospital visits to address that situation. They endured this difficult phase with patience, dignity, and positivity. But yet, nothing of what they tried seemed to work as the cancer kept on relapsing and the situation started getting worse and worse. This is the story of their trials and triumphs, and through it all, the unending grace of divinity and wisdom that they acquired under the guidance of Guruji.
So the doctors were actually very confused because my all my parameters of blood and was going topsy turvy. They could not exactly understand why it is happening this way. They said stop. There was an abrupt stop of my chemo after the 15th injection. It was stopped completely. Maybe I don't know why it happened this way because every 9 months or 10 months it was getting relapsed. So the severity of the illness was very high. So basically, I was left on a blank page, right? So that's where I came to know about Guruji. So Guruji said, he looked at me regarding he seen me, and he said, "Okay, you come tomorrow, next day to my house." But I was a bit skeptical, no doubt about it. That evening, I was skeptical. Because after having been examined and treated upon by all this medical fraternity, what Guruji will have to offer me? This is what my initial feeling. I would put it this way that first of all, is very approachable. He was very approachable. The smiling countenance he received both of us, and that sort of magnetism I experienced in his presence. And no doubt, I being a ill person, right, and he being a healer, our potential difference is very, very massively high. Okay, so and when his loving glances and it actually shown me that he's actually interested in me, in my well-being. That experience I had got in the initial seconds I met him.
It was by chance that we happened to meet Guruji at my cousin sister's death place. Okay, it was just by chance. And they met him at the doorstep. He was on his way out. There he met Guruji. And fortunately for us, something clicked between the two. And within 1 month's time, we could see the difference. In fact, I would say that after 2 months, like February, he met Guruji. In the month of May, he went for a Vipassana 10-day meditation. And Guruji said, you can go. You can go. The one more thing, at the beginning, Guruji had told me, I give you guarantee of 13 years. Okay, now 13 years, like 2014, the guarantee period is over. Now this is bonus years. Okay. That's something. I mean, he doesn't want us to be Ambani and Tata. He wants us to be that. He wants us to work with the universe, for the universe. The journey has been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just 3 years of that hospital thing, and now very relaxed. We don't go to he doesn't go to the doctor, no checkups, no nothing. So I think that's quite. This is heaven. This is heaven.
Om Shanti, sir. How are you doing today?
Om Shanti, Dwight, thank you very much giving me this lovely opportunity to speak about the interaction I had with Guruji. And I really feel so so virtuous myself to talk about it. I'm feeling good.
Yes,
I'm doing good.
very good, sir. Can we start with a quick introduction?
Yeah, of course. My name is Suresh, but my official name is Surendran Krishnan. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. I had school in SRW school in Andheri East, Andheri West. After schooling, I had joined Indian Air Force at the age of 16 and a half. Served 15 years, got retired in 1991 at the age of 31 and a half. Then for 1 year I was jobless and got married in 92 after having got an appointment in Indian Revenue Department, that's Income Tax Department. So after that, marriage happened and life went on. So after marriage of 3.5 years, I was inflicted with this illness, cancer. That is not Hodgkin lymphoma, which early two participants also had the same problem. So that was detected in 1997. So then after that, I had three chemotherapy sessions, cycles of the chemotherapy. I had a couple of transfusions of blood also. So on the way, my things were complete topsy-turvy of my life. Just after 3.5 years, my son was around 3 years, and so that's how it went off. Well, now if you ask me why I had this disease, I had just actually thought about some reasons for this, why actually I had to experience this. As a person, I was very pious and innocent in my childhood. Actually, I was morally too correct to say very, very precisely. I had my own standards of things and people, things around all that. If somebody actually not come up to that mark, and possibly has to feel discontent and has to have very unhappy, that possibly has sent across signals to my body, within my body, right? And that non-acceptance to the circumstances or the natural things of the society possibly has affected me very badly. And on top of that, over the years, as I grew up, I used to indulge in alcohol, I used to drink, and I used to smoke also. That also actually affected my living style. And then what happened is that, as Guruji says, when the acidity improves, that actually culminates into cancer. Possibly that is the reason I see uh, for my being inflicted with this illness.
Okay, sir. So this happened when around the year 1997.
Right.
Okay, and what was the diagnosis at that time? Can you narrate that time period from the time it was detected first until the time you actually met Guruji?
See, actually, my diagnosis was previously they could not actually. They could not because basically I started off with an eye infection, the right eye infection. It completely had swollen up. In fact, I was lucky in the sense that that did not spread to the skull. Okay, so the infection was so severe. So the doctor said that I had to be taken to immediately for the test and all. So I was admitted in Jaslok Hospital, right? So my aspirations, they were taking my aspirations, they had sent to Tata Memorial as well as Ranbaxy laboratory. So it took them for a month about, to exactly detect exactly what my problem was. So then they put me immediately for chemotherapy because there's no other way, there's no other treatment available that time. So they put me the first 6 cycles of chemotherapy, which actually was taken under the guidance of Tata Memorial Hospital, but it was administered in Thane, right? Then what happened is that after I was feeling good and I was so happy about exactly the treatment. I felt very good after a couple of transfusion also. So I felt relieved. I felt I'm actually in the remission. In fact, I was so naive that I invited the doctor, Dr. Boban Dabar, to my home for a dinner. I think everything's over now. Now it's so clear. I'm clear of cancer. But it was not to be that way. The cancer got repeated up and relapse again after 10 months. So the seriousness of the disease came to my idea that time only, not before that. And actually, one thing which helped in me is that I was very, very enthusiastic about life, about life and living. So even though I was ill, it didn't so much affect me. This is one thing, very speciality which I have noticed. In fact, I would put it this way: in my house, also my wife as well as her brother, we used to discuss this disease openly. That time, possibly, if you can go back and think about it, internet was just coming into the scene of the society, so we didn't have easy access to Google or any sort of setup of this sort. But then we did have gumption to really talk about it, feel about it, discuss about it, threadbare you discuss about it, analyze it, so that actually has helped me in taking off fear in my mind. This this is a lovely thing which I experienced. Then what happened that I went again for the second chemo, sixth chemo I had been administered with. Then again I had a relapse in 2000, say in November. So again I was asked for another three injections. So the doctors were actually very confused because my all my parameters of blood and was going topsy turvy. They could not exactly understand why it is happening this way. Then they said stop. There was an abrupt stop of my chemo. After the 15th injection, it was stopped completely, chemo. Then I was sent back to Tata Memorial. I met the doctors there. So they said, "Ki I have to may go for a BMT, that is bone marrow transplantation, and which is very expensive. Plus, it's a very very difficult operation that particular time. So I have to look for a donor. Either my own stem cells can you be used for it, or donors, my brother, siblings, or any other donor in the society. For which I had only 1 month time. This was seen before meeting Guruji.
Sir, since you said 1 month time, can you specify what is this 1 month? Was this something that was the cancer was at that stage,
Right.
or what was it?
See, Dwight, I had in these 3.5 years of treatment, a journey of my treatment, so I had many, many sort of hiccups as far as life was concerned. The first time before reaching that Jaslo hospital, I had experienced a near-death experience. I had, okay, so I was almost my condition was so bad. So after having treated upon me in Jaslok, after being released from there also, I was subjected to chemotherapy. So my condition was bad. The prognosis was not so good. Okay. So it developed faster. Maybe I don't know why it happened this way because every 9 months or 10 months it was getting relapsed. So the severity of the illness was very high. And that's why they said 1 month's time, because 1 month to decide upon, because I have to plan of making money, for raising funds, and looking for donors, matching that up, all that. Possibly doctors felt that 1 month will it'll take, so that my actual treatment could be started. That's why this is 1 month. And of course the prognosis was not so very good.
Okay. So you met Guruji in this 1 month,
No,
or was it
no.
after that?
Actually, what happened is, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. This 1 month I had a time gap. That is the time because now I was completely placed on a different level of treatment. Right. Actually, I was one vacancy. The hospital actually raised their hands. Only final solution available was only bone marrow transplantation. So that for that I have to really mentally, psychologically, and financially, logistically plan a lot of things, which I had to work on it. So basically, I was left on a blank page. Right. So that's where I came to know about Guruji. How I came to know about Guruji was this, that my one of my wife's cousin, she had cancer, breast cancer. Unfortunately, she died. So Guruji knew her. That's a connection. So I got a connection through them. Ki, why don't I meet Guruji in this setup? So that's how, in that 1 month period, I could take this liberty to meet Guruji.
And when you met Guruji, what was your first impression, or how did you view Guruji then? It was the first time you are meeting him,
Uh,
and you don't know anything about
yeah.
alternative healing.
Well, I was completely blank exactly when I met Guruji the first time. Actually, when I met Guruji was in the evening of that day when my wife's cousin who expired, he had come to pay his last respects to her. So that time somebody broached my topic. So I had met Guruji that evening with my brother-in-law. So Guruji said, he looked at me regarding he seen me, and he said, "Okay, you come tomorrow, next day to my house." So that was the call. But I was a bit skeptical, no doubt about it. That evening, I was skeptical. What? Because after having been examined and treated upon by all this medical fraternity, what Guruji will have to offer me? This is what my initial feeling. But then I thought, okay, there is no harm in meeting Guruji. So next day, I and brother-in-law went to his home. And as since you're asking about the initial impression about of meeting Guruji, I would put it this way that first of all, is very approachable. He was very approachable. The smiling countenance he received both of us, and that sort of magnetism I experienced in his presence. And no doubt, I being a ill person, right, and he being a healer, our potential difference is very, very massively high. Okay, so and when his loving glances and it actually shown me that he's actually interested in me, in my well-being. That experience I had got in the initial seconds I met him, and the he made me comfortable, and he asked me, "Come on." There is that Agra made cane muda. You must have heard of muda, that round stool. So yes, that time we used to see the patients in the front room, the first room what we get in right now. So he just pulled one of them and made me to sit down. So he must have actually by that time must have actually noticed my aura, and his usual way of showing the hand, so he start pressing hand here and there, all that. So he saw me. Then what happened is that when he saw I press here and there, and he looked at me, he said, "You'll be all right." Okay, and that's where a great relief I experienced, the first time in 3.5 years of journey of my treatment. Okay. So I felt as if a great load of my head was kept down. I felt very released because still then all of the people had actually this sympathy. Hey, hello, whatever, this boy has got these problems. How sad, all that. Somebody is coming with a lot of energy and with a lot of positivity, saying that you can be all right and you'll be all right. So that was a great news and great feeling, great relaxation too.
So once you got the healing, sir, what happened to the conventional treatment that you were pursuing? Because you are
Right,
very
right.
much into it, right? So how did you step out of it, or did you continue it for some time?
Yeah,
What
that's
you
very
did?
good question, Dwight, sir. In the sense, that problem actually I didn't have, fortunately for me, because once Tata Memorial has said that I have to go for the final allopathic medicine of treatment of BMT, bone marrow transplantation, then rest of things could be erased fully. There is absolutely nothing was left for me, right? In fact, I had nowhere to go, right? I had, whether I knew Reiki or what Guruji's style of treatment or any other alternative therapy, that didn't matter to me, right? For me, it's an open book. Okay, this person can offer me something. Hey, it's easy for me. Why don't I trust him? Because I had nowhere else to go. So it was very easy to actually adopt for me that the Guruji had to offer me. Another advantage I had was, Sadhvai, that I was a sole decision maker about my life that particular time. In fact, I was not a son to a father who can decide for me, or somebody else who can actually force me to go in a particular direction. So I was the sole person to decide for myself, right? So it was easy for me. No one could control me. Then I thought, okay, if Guruji has got something to offer me, I had the initial impression of magnetism and all the great feeling which he gave me. Why I should not go for it? That's what my final call about accepting his way of treatment.
Very good. And so once he started with the healing, how did you? What were the changes that you noticed that gave you the confidence? Yes, it is working for you. And how did you adopt the therapies that he had prescribed you at that time?
See, what the first changes, first goodness was this advice that he said no test, no medicines, no nothing. So that's a great relief for me. Why? Because you won't believe that last for 3.5 years, lot of pricks have taken place. You can see my hand now also. There is a one complete nerve or vein is blocked, right? Lot of pricks have taken place. Like it was just you can compare the pricks taken by Bhishma Pitama during the Mahabharata. You could compare with that. So many pricks of injections, this, that, of catheter, of this, what do you call, blood transfusions. So when Guruji said, "Oh, stop everything," it was a very comfortable thing for me. I mean, basically, it was a very great relief for myself. Then, then when Guruji started, the no test means no anxiety. See, what I would like to share with my KMGNs and other people who's going to listen to this interview is this. See, all of the patients who reach him, they have coming with a loads of anxiety, right? Suddenly somebody gives a sort of a release through some hole. It's a great relief by itself. It's just like a clogged pipeline find its way of water release. The water goes out immediately. So that really sort of relief everybody experiences once anxiety has been released properly by an effective person, a knowledgeable person, a technically right person. So that feeling I had in the beginning itself. Then, of course, I was subjected to the Guruji's way of treatment. One fantastic thing about Guruji is that he involves your family in your healing. See, now I had two, three support pillars, like Guruji himself is there with me, and he has actually interacted with my family to join my healing process. It works wonders, Advaiji, because that's where basically I would like to share my experiences in my healing process. My family members, my building people, and my relatives. For example, I had a great say in my healing process. Like in my healing process, my building people used to give, in the hospital, they used to send across curries and cuisines, right? So that my wife is not troubled much. So from different houses, things used to come to the hospital. Even Mohan Chetan, Mohan Chetan, that is father of KMGNs like Kartika, Beena, Bindu's father, right? He used to come every day when I was in the hospital with breakfast in the morning and used to spend some time with me to make me comfortable, relax. So that was a help I received all through the healing process. So when I met Guruji the first time, he put me on a diet. He said, first day I was given a big watermelon to have. Today you will have only watermelon juice. He told me to have that. So basically, he must have seen I was maybe dark complexioned, and after having chemo, things were bad. Possibly he did want, because just immediately meeting him a couple of days before I had my last chemo. So the body must have been dark, or he must have seen in me a lot of toxicity. So he thought, okay, by having this sort of a treatment, I can be relieved from the toxicity. So I had one day full empty stomach, one day full watermelon things. Then I was put on as regular, because as you know that the very first day we go to him, invariably he teaches how to have to do Jalaniti, which I was taught in the same day itself. Then the usual. And what I found over the years, the Guruji's treatment is very, very scientific. There is a science to it. Why I say science to it is this, that, see, all of us are a bundle of karmic impressions, good and bad. As long as good is concerned, we can easily handle it. We can play it out easily because it's pleasure, so that you can let it go immediately. Enjoy doing that. But when it comes to bad karma, the going gets tough. You need somebody's help, Then only things can be easy. So it's very painful. So when you have an experienced masters like Guruji, so the journey becomes more easier. And why I feel a guru is important at that occasion, that moment, it is this, because in our life, we are educated, and we read a lot of things here and there. We pick up some inputs from some quotes here and there, some books, self-help books here and there, cultural inputs, scriptural inputs. Your some elders in the family give you some suggestions to follow, all that. So you have a lot of ideas. It works, but it may not work fully. What Guruji does is this, that all those information what you gather over the years, those are actually loose ends or loose threads. Guruji comes and to play, he entwines it into a twine, a stronger band, and gives his techniques to guide you. So that's where I find Guruji's importance in one's life. So in my case, Janardhan Guruji was the person who did that for me. So I was very, very happy. And his way of treatment is very, very scientific. Why I say that? Uh, he deals the body, the mind, and the soul simultaneously in a separate way. He has got solutions for bodily aspects. Then he has got mind-related solutions. Then the soul aspect of it. You can say the Father, the Son, and the Ghost, Holy Ghost sort of treatment. For body, he had juices, right? And he had. I'll come to the juices a bit later. The juices he had, and he had PHP exercises. That time, when I joined, when I have been into this in his secured surrounding, that time PHP was not advised, not formed or thought of. He had actually suggested Tibetan exercises that particular time, which I used to follow. Then, then what happens that is you have acupressure, right? He used to suggest acupressure every time, self-healing techniques, all that he had given for the body, the body. Then for the mind, of course, mind he has got self-healing. Then he had two different kinds of meditative techniques. One for the initial one, when you're initiated, immediately one he suggests to the patients. Second, when how we are good at it, how sincere you were. According to that, he again initiates you the second level of meditative techniques. That's chakra meditation, which takes care of the entire your spine and chakra aspects of your body. So, which that is the second aspect of the healing, where the mind-related issues are cleared fully. Third, he had the soul. He's always talk about cleansing your soul through having less desires and talking about death, 24 karat purity. Now that's something beautiful. 24 karat purity, if you have right now, I'm sure you have become godly like. And that is what he's always insist upon. We have to have 24 karat purity. I don't want less. That's what he says always. Right. So that was very great thing. And that actually is very soul stirring and benefited the soul forever. Why I believe in his claim that, I'm taking to the moksha patha. I 100% agree with that. So when I come to the juices, I shall explain that. See,
Yeah.
juices. The as I said, he is juices is the toxic element in the body. He removes immediately by suggesting pomegranate juice. That's a wonder fruit because say pomegranate juice is one thing which deals with your past karma, right? Toxic element is what you have collected over the years, the accumulation of toxicity over the years of your bad living, bad thought process, whatever it could be. But then it is an accumulation. When you are suggested for pomegranate, actually it goes in a system and it cleans up the entire physicality of your mind related issues also, because mind and matter are the same, right? So it does that way. Then here for it just like that, you're for removing karmic debts. It's like your bad loans to be cleared, in financial terms, so pomegranate is one thing which is useful. Then second is your carrot juice, curry patta juice, and ginger, garlic paste, coconut water. All these juices are there. You've got specific benefits. Like carrot juice will take care of your blood purity and your alkaline in the system. Because basically, Guruji says your body has to always alkaline based, not acid based, right? So that it is to take care of that. That means what I would say is this: once your past karma has been dealt with, your present operative karma, what you day to day agama karmas, what we talk about every day happening, that is taken care of by this all other juices. The blood cleaning happening through kadi patta juice, the ginger paste, ginger garlic paste, the heart related functions, all that benefits what we receive out of that, and the coconut water and the pineapple juice all for the nerve related issue, all that. All these things are there in the book, which anybody who's interested can go through all this, so they will come to know more about this than listening from a secondary information from me. So these are the benefits which I have got from the juice therapy. Then yeah, then when you progress in your meditative second meditation, a lot of things happening into you develop a lot of sensitiveness to a lot of things. A lot of things, a lot of developments takes place in your changes, you can see your changes itself. You become more receptive to ideas, things, because you're getting healed. When you're getting healed and healthy, so what happens that you're receptive. When you are sick, then you close on to people's suggestions, all that. Here, one thing I would like to say with my experience is that you must have made in a childhood, clay balls or soft soil balls, right? So when you to make the ball, what do you have to do? You have to sprinkle a bit of moisture to it, right? So that ball is always stuck together. Now, if you want to keep the moisture ball as it is in the same shape, we have to do every day bit of moistening. Then only it'll stay, right? So, suppose you forget, or you dissuade from giving moisture to that ball. So what happens? It becomes dry. Okay. So when it get dried, it'll get withered. The soil will lose its shape, the roundness will go off, it will fall by itself. That is a technique of Guruji's treatment of pomegranate, right? So with pomegranate juice every week, or some people twice in a day or thrice in a week, or that, so it actually does not allow the moistening aspect of your in negativity in your system. It does not allow the cementing factor of negativity to continue for a longer period. Pomegranate hits that, so that you are not moistening it, you are giving, and with carrot juice you are giving more life to yourself. So the negative ball what you are created from long time, it get withered away. That actually heals the system very scientifically. You have heard of that mantra, or mrityunjay mantra. Have you heard of that? Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukimiva Bandhana Nrityo Vrikshojamamritat. This mantra. Basically, I got sort of attuned with that mantra with Guruji's treatment also. You know how it is. You see, what Guruji says 24 karat purity for death. He says, no, you don't have to get scared of death. Death is just a happening, nothing, not a big deal, right? So why it is this way? Because I happen to see, I had this, the creepers of this, Karela, in the sense what, but a bitter god. You have seen creepers. You have seen some sort of bitter god stuck to the plant in a very dilapidated condition. You noticed that? You must have noticed that, right? In a dilapidated, very, very, Fuska, we call it, Fuska Karela, hanging on to that in a creeper. So, same way, this mantra talks about Kira, that is Kakadi. When the Kakadi becomes very healthy and grown up to fully ripe condition, it falls by itself, right? That means a healthy Kakadi falls by itself, right? Same way with our body also. For living also we need to have good body. For dying also we need to have good body. That's what I understood from Guruji's saying the 24 karat purity. Because when your time is up, when you have to go away, you need a good healthy body. So healthy body in the sense so that your pranavayu just to release vayu, that doesn't get much of a problem. It just goes. When your time is up, you release yourself and go. You don't hang on to so much of time on the bed, for exit. So that's what I want to say through that mantra. The mantra talks of that only. That you give me, you actually, it is pray to a three-eyed Lord Shiva, requesting him to have to give such a strength, pushti, so that my life is amrit, that it falls like a kakadi when it's fully ripe. That's the mantra. So it works.
That's really wonderful knowledge, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. What would be your advice to people who are uh, having a similar situation like what you went through, who have done chemos or going through chemos, but now are looking at some alternative way of healing? What is
Well,
your advice to them?
my advice to them is that if you have no other choice, that is a privilege you have to decide upon. In the sense, in my case, for me, the decision all was very easy. But some people, some people may not be as privileged as I am in the choice of making decision makings. So there are some people they will say like a small kid. As far as a small kid is concerned, he or she has to take permission from the father or his. Or suppose you have relative of doctors, then another problem because their knowledge also we would respect them, so they can also sometimes come into in the decision making process, which may be good or whatever. So, but once you understand, if somebody can, okay, now here, yeah, here, what work you are doing possibly can come handy for those patients who has yet to decide. What since I said all these things which I experienced, or other Gurujis, Kemjians explain all these factors of the Guruji's healing processes. So possibly they will have a clear view of the treatment what is Guruji has offered. I say Guruji's offering is a package by itself, that fully will take care of every aspects of your uh, disease. Not only disease, after disease, your life with your family, friends, and your prosperity, all that, your health, your growth, everything. So, with such inputs through Guruji's books, Guruji's simple techniques, like for example, whether they follow Guruji's steps or not, you can always suggest them the good effects of the juices, right? You can always stress upon them by asking them to read about more, because since you are worried, if you are worried about your illness to get cure for it, why don't you at least read the book, know the intricacies of the illnesses, go know the good points, whatever he had to offer. So all that there in that book itself, you can just go through and reread, and naturally by rereading, you come to a lot of inputs which will be useful in the decision making process. And of course, the elders. And I would say the group should let us not make the illness of a person or child or anybody a secret. Talk it out. Open it up. Illness is part of the universe existence. I mean, sometimes you just you know your process is wrong. Your style may be wrong. It's resulting into illnesses. Why you get scared, or why you want to shy away from those things? You can always be easy, talk about it, open up. By opening up, your chakras also open up, so you become receptive. So the decision making can be very easy and very channelized. In Guruji's healing process, this if you are how if you have lapses, or if you are not serious about it, there can be a lot of problems. You get punishments also, right? So once I had also experienced a couple of times this things. Once I had gone to Guruji, he was going to US. Before that, 2 days before that, I had met him. So when I went to him, he was shocked. He had the usual way of doing hello. He said this way, and all chakras are closed. How are you? How are you come here? Only Ajna chakra was working. So actually, he was actually scared for me. Then he told my wife also to take care of him very more carefully, and so that he's put on all the again same juices again and again. Only my Ajna chakra was working, right? So that time he actually protected me. Second thing, what see, he's all around. He was all around me, or all around us. He is. His radar is there for his lovable disciples or devotees or sishyas. Because why I say this? Because I had recently, after the Mathuran trip, I had gone to Nagpur, where I was posted that time. So one day I got a message: you have tomato twice, morning as well as in the evening, lunch, dinner and lunch. So your heart is weak. Now I was surprised, because his radar is there, he's on. So he's looking at all patients. So basically, that gave me great pleasure and reassurances about my life itself, my health itself. That's a great privilege with when you come into associate with Guruji, right? Two funny incidents that I would like to share here. So you see, Hyderabad, KMGMs actually helped me a lot. How I say this? Because they actually has taught me Guru Sishya relationship. Okay, it happened this way. Once I had an opportunity to travel with Guruji to Hyderabad for healing. So 1 week's healing. So that time the healing used to take place in 15 Ophium Road house, or of late Ravindra and Ushaji's house, right? That's where I met all the stalwarts of Sushila ji and Kamla ji and or Usha ji advocate, all that. The thing is I'd gone along with him in the flight. I reached there. When I went there, that's where I saw, oh God, what a different world I've come to. The treatment they were given here, he was given, and I was part of it. I was also just enjoying that, being a part of Guruji's team. So I felt so good. The entire that was actually a Vaidyashala by itself, right? It was actually a regenerating center. Different cuisines coming from various places, and Guruji is like people meeting him, expressing love, affection, seva. The seva bhavana, which actually I've right now I'm inculcating that. I got it from there, from them. Right. These all fine. I had a privilege of sharing the room with the Guruji also. I used to see Guruji's routine. He gets up, he has watcher and all that. That Jalniti all stuff, everything very systematic manner. So I used to just watch. Okay, it was fine and good. But after having seen the Hyderabadis, then that sort of feeling of need came into my own mind of being very seva bhavana. So I then we left the Hyderabad troop and we came back to the flight. I actually offered myself to pick up Guruji's luggage. So he said, no, 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 no. But maybe my offering was not so, I mean, so there was still a lot of stiffness in me. See, but then Guruji said, no, don't worry about it. So all that. And Guruji is very, very clear. So no much of a talk. He went to board in the flight, right? Then as soon as he had received a window seat, he He sat down, settled down. He said, "You're okay, fine, good." So I was made comfortable by him. Then he immediately went for his self healing. So whenever he get chances, he used to go for self healing. That was his way of doing things. Second incident which has helped me to leave away my attachment, which I would like to share here, because see, Guru, I was one of the earliest beneficiaries of Guruji's treatment, right? So whenever somebody else used to come to me for regarding treatment of any sort of meeting Guruji, then I used to immediately pick up my phone, land phone, and call 26201956. The hotline is to reach Guruji, right? And he used to pick up, okay, sir, Guruji, this is the person is suffering. Then he used to give time, okay, send him across on that particular day. That way it is so easy. Now, what over the years, what happened? All of us have these problems. I and mine. We don't think of our. Always thought my guru. But when it's set up, when KMG become big, the number of patients increased. My guru has become our guru. How? Puja came in between. So I had to get Puja online, talk to her, send across the fingerprints of the patients, all that. So I lost my freedom. So previously I was a bit possessive of Guruji. I used to call up immediately and had a chat with him and close the chapter. But now I had to go via media. I go through via media, which I felt bit of hindrance in the beginning. Then I thought, hey, he's our Guru. May is Gurudam because more big and big and big, big. I'm so happy we have made in the last couple of years. KMG Trust itself has grown to such a big institution, looking to various aspects of healing and serving people. I think it should be good. We are, in a way, lucky to be part of that organization. And see, this merge with Guruji, right? Because when I merge with Guruji, I'm not talking surrender at all. Merge. I and Guru is one. I would experience that level. When I am and Guru is one, right? Advait is I am Advait. Like that, just like this. This is mine, this is mine, my eyes are mine, my ears are mine. Same way. Advait is mine, Anushka is mine, Srikala is mine, Guruji is mine, Guruma is mine. That experience will come when you become one with Guruji. So then that's what I'm actually and mind you, Advait. I had been experiencing this uh, in a in a recent times. This is possible. This is possible in how slowly, when you send across I is equal to V by R, the Ohm's law, Guruji's Ohm's law, the love current. When it flows through you, when you live life with least resistance, this is a possibility. This is a great possibility. Because why? Why Guruji insists upon non-resistance? When you resist, it persists. What is persistence meaning? Continuous existence of something. So when you have a least resistance lives become beautiful and you are one. You will experience the oneness with the world. So why that will be useful to you? Because once you make money, you make success. It's my success. I have nothing because I don't have to compete with anybody. I'm competition free. I just live my life, float in this world universe. Whenever my time is up, I just leave. That's what I'm I'm working on. Thank you very much for all this niceties you have told me, and I'm happy and privileged to have this experience. May KMG and improve succeed. May our KMG trust improve and succeed. May have Guruji have lot many people, millions of people under his coverage. That's what I can choose to say now. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thanks a lot, sir. Om Shanti. It was great hearing you and listening to all your experiences. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Om Shanti,
oh,
Sujataji. How are you?
Shanti, very fine, very fine.
Okay, thanks a lot for spending time. It was important. I felt after listening to Suresh ji, his experiences. Uh, I couldn't think of concluding the interview without talking to you. I'm sure this is something the viewers of this video will look forward to also hear from you, know from you of how this journey has been, and how, as his better half, you have the experiences which you have gone through, and which under Guruji's guidance, how they have also benefited you.
Um, um, Once again, Om Shanti, Om Namah Shivaya Advaji. As regards to the journey that is from being from a Sureshji being a cancer patient to now being a healthy person, yes, the journey has been quite eventful, I would say, because going to the hospital, coming back, Roshan being a small child, everything was in a quick thing, roller coaster ride, I would say that way. But since Sureshji as a person, he has a happy-go-lucky attitude. Then also, so things were quite easy. But we had to just, he would never be very cranky or anything like that. Be very, we would say cooperative in all kind of things. So as a wife, as a thing, I just had to provide things, and he would do it. No nakras, no nakras, absolutely. But then,
Okay.
as Sureshji always say that I am destined to meet Guruji. Why? Because it was by chance that we happened to meet Guruji at my cousin sister's death place. Okay, it was just by chance. And somebody told my brother told Sureshji, and they met him at the doorstep. You know, he was on his way out. There he met Guruji. And fortunately for us, something clicked between the two. And Sureshji went there, whatever treatment was told to him. He comes home and he said, Ki, I'm supposed to have a lot of fruits and vegetable juices. I'm okay with it. And as far as I am concerned, since we had done allopathy, 3 years, 3.5 years of allopathy. And when the Tata doctors themselves gave up, so, and we had done Ayurvedic also before chemotherapy. Like in the month of June, he had a conjunctivitis. The first, it started with eye infection. And after that, he had some stiffness in his stomach. So, being a Keralite, we have this cortical thing, right? So, they would give Arishta, Kashayam, and all those things. He has had all those things, but I think that worsened his stomach condition. And then again in the month of October, he had this eye infection. So first Ayurvedic was tried, nothing happened. Then allopathy 3 years. I think we are done with allopathy also. And as far as Suresh is concerned, when he felt that something will, so ye bhi dekh lete hai, and he was very comfortable with Guruji. Somehow he felt like there's some meaning to it. And he comes home, and the first treatment was like the one full day he had to take watermelon, and it was like haste that day went off, and pomegranate juice. And those days, early morning he should wake up 4 o'clock, he should do his exercise, meditation, very sincerely. I just had to provide things for him. The fact that Suresh himself had faith on his way of treatment, I never had to bother about it. And within 1 month's time, we could see the difference. We could see the difference. So there's nothing, no doubt, no need to panic. In fact, I would say that after 2 months, like February, he met Guruji. In the month of May, he went for a Vipassana 10-day meditation where there was no contact, no nothing. And Guruji said, you can go. You can go. And since then, it's been, I mean, as far as Suresh is concerned, he has been very sincere. I just had to provide things. And now all of us are having the juices and all that thing. So chance of missing it doesn't arise. And
13 years.
it's been almost 30. And the one more thing, at the beginning, Guruji had told me, I give you guarantee of 13 years. Okay, now 13 years, like 2014, the guarantee period is over.
Bonus.
Now this is bonus years. Okay, so and Guruji would always talk about, he would tell me that, you have a lot of disease in you, but everything is invisible. So you might as well start taking care of him. Suresh had all many people. He was there for him. You should also be looking after yourself so that you can help out things like that. And since Guruji is there, a feeling of somebody is there to take care is always there. You just go there. It's like family. You can go there, be very comfortable. It's like home. We're not going to a hospital to visit a doctor. It's more of a family person. So that kind of feeling is there. Very comfortable, very comfortable. And as Suresh has said, it was his destiny to meet Guruji. So I would say our family was destined to meet him. And I'm glad that we met him because in this 2000, I mean, 20th century, we could meet a person who's an engineer by profession, but who could actually introduce to us this way of life. And with the help of juices, vegetables, and fruits, we are actually making ourselves healthy. So generally, what is like we eat food to fill up our stomach and maybe to stimulate our tongue, but we don't think in terms of rejuvenating our body through food. We think in terms of pills and syrups. So we are a part of this nature. Nature help us to survive, live well. So I think with each passing day, these fruits and vegetables are helping us to regenerate ourselves, nourish us. That comes into the picture. So I think we are very grateful to be associated with Guruji. And as Suresh said, he's not like a doctor. He's more of a father figure and the loving glance. I mean, he always has lots of love for us, and that I think that nourishes our soul basically. So all of us are very happy to be associated with him, and as we can feel the difference if we don't have carrot juices, say for a week or so. We can feel the difference in our body. What is the difference? So there is something happening to us. And since we live here in Thane, everything is so easily available. I think there's no excuse not to go for it. And Guruji himself, whenever we go to Guruji's place, Guruji himself has a carrot juice, he has a pomegranate juice, he has the coconut water, he has a green juice, even today. So, like, what stops us from us having it? That's the question. So I think it's been a beautiful journey so far, and glad to meet him, and wishing him all the success, and love to be a part of this whole. I mean, the nice part of Guruji is Guruji wants each one of us to be the power center. He said, "You can be above us. You can be above." Each one of us has the capacity to be that energy center. So he wishes all of us to be that, and I think that is something very wonderful that he's wishing all of us to be that. And that's something, I mean, he doesn't want us to be Ambani and Tata. He wants us to be that. He wants us to work with the universe, for the universe. And that is something very beautiful. And I think it's the journey has been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just 3 years of that hospital thing, and now very relaxed. We don't go to he doesn't go to the doctor, no checkups, no nothing. So I think that's quite. This is heaven. This is heaven. Okay, that's all I have to say, Gurji.
Thank you so much, Sri Kalaji. This is so wonderful. Uh, I think what both of you have shared is really of lot of value, lot of significance, and I really loved the experiences, the specific uh, value, the knowledge that you shared out of those experiences. So thanks a lot,
Thank you.
and wish both of you a very happy life and healthy life and long life.
Thank you, Adveji.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Yeah, Advait, I, through you and on behalf of the KMG, we all wish the KMG as an institution to succeed and great journey covering millions of people. And we all wish that Guruji under his coverage may get the many get freed from illnesses after coming under his Chhatra Chaya, as somebody has used that word. So it's nice, and you also doing a yeoman service, and possibly this interviews also will help many people to get their illnesses and sorrowfulness removed from their life. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
from us, from three of us, a salute.
Om
Who knows why?
Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Namaskar.